with Robbie Ross, Seeking Seven. Man, you've gotten a little bit of attention lately on Facebook, doing some songs to keep us entertained during the quarantine. You're doing guitar, you're doing lead, drum, bass. Tell me a little bit about that and kind of how you got started.
Well, it basically was well, because of the quarantine and shelter in place order, my band members were just stuck at home, and we had to cancel one practice, then the second practice, then the third practice. And by the time the third practice got canceled, out of staring at all my music gear sitting in the practice room, I just thought, you know what, I can keep myself busy by playing some cover song or something. And I couldn't have my band members there, so I just did all the parts all together. And I didn't think it'd get much of a response. Actually, I figured probably the lovely internet trollers that we have keeping us safe from bad stuff on the internet would just really pounce on me and tear me all apart. But the response has been really unexpected and very humbling. But yeah, I've had fun with it. I was just play songs that I like to listen to, and hopefully that people know them and sing along with. But I've had a good time with it. It's been fun.
Now you've done, I think, Bush, Verve, Dishwalla.
Verve pipe, yeah.
Yeah. So how long per video? Because you're having different outfits on, or are you doing the drums in one part and guitar in one part, or how are you going about doing
it? I ended up filming all the parts in one day. I did it on a last Saturday, and it took me all day to do. So I thought per each part, this was actually one of the suggestions that was given to me, that they seem like different personalities. And so I did change outfits per instrument, but I actually, all 10 videos that I'm releasing and that have released already, they were actually all filmed the same day. I'm just releasing them a day apart. But yeah, for each instrument, I just and it does kind of give you that feeling that there's a different. I wanted to make it like, I didn't want it to feel like it was me. I wanted to feel like it was a band, but I just couldn't have my band there, because they're all quarantined. And trust me, I wish I had them down, because it wasn't easy to do, especially the drums.
That makes you appreciate those guys, I guess. So you guys have
it really does. That's what go ahead.
You guys have been a band for how long now?
2019 was 10 years, so we're going on our 11th year. We've been hard charging it, practically nonstop for that long, and that's kind of why the quarantine had really affected with my brain cells, because I'm gigging every week. If I'm not gigging with Seeking Seven, I'm doing something solo acoustic somewhere. Some weeks even 4 nights a week, and so my brain's been having to adapt and adjust with the fact that I don't have a restaurant or a venue to go to and to play. So I had to, just as people at home, I'm sure, are missing concerts, I think I was more missing an opportunity to play, and I couldn't sit around and just not do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, going on our 11th year now.
What's in
4 albums too.
Now what's in the works?
So we have so much in the works that I can't get to it all. One thing that we have, we're going to film we're going to professionally film an MTV Unplugged style acoustic show, kind of debuting a alternate side to all our original songs, and we're going to have it professionally filmed and released on a DVD. We're going to be doing that, and what's going to be really cool about that is that it's going to be an extended band. We're just a 3-piece, but I'm going to be adding I'm going to add a percussionist, about 2 other guitarists, a cello player, a violin player. We're going to really expand the band for this one concert and DVD filming. We have volume 2 of our EP. We released volume 1 right at a year ago now, not quite a year ago, but we got volume 2 to release and drop, and we got that coming. And then this kind of stole away from my ideas, but we may still do this. But inspired by what Weezer did, they put out a cover album. When we're done with the acoustic show and we're done with the volume 2, we're going to try to put out a song of cover songs, an album of official license and available to buy type studio quality cover album. So yeah, we have a lot on the agenda. I wish I can tell you all the shows we have coming up, but they've all been canceled till further notice.
Right. Now you're a Mississippi guy, and so am I. A lot of us have to find heavy metal on our own. We're not grown up. I don't know about you. I was not taught that stuff growing up. I was growing up on country music, and pretty much that's it. I found this stuff on my own. How did you get into the rock and hard rock and heavy metal world?
Much like you, I've always felt like a fish out of water in Mississippi to a certain degree. Not to say that I haven't been proud to been here, but when I first heard Nirvana back years ago, I know that's kind of punk-ish, mainstream punk. It's not really metal, but that to me, growing up, I had this idea that if you were going to be a musician, you had to be a virtuoso. You had to be like just so beyond amazingly good, And so I never thought that I could even be a musician because the way my brain works is like, if you can't be a Van Halen, then don't even bother, But when I heard Nirvana, the perfect imperfections, the scratchy in the voice and the ringing of the guitars, the sloppiness of it all, it was so beautiful to me, and it made music tangible. And so hook, line, and sinker, I fell in love with Nirvana like right away. And when I had graduated high school, I moved away. I was joining the military. And then when I joined the military, I experienced something I didn't experience around here, and that was radio stations that played metal. Mm-hmm. It was something so cool and new for me that I don't get an opportunity. Other than Headbangers Ball on MTV when that was a thing, there was no access to metal, right, radio. And that first exposure of it, made me realize there's a huge world out there beyond the walls of Mississippi and what we can't get. Right. And so when I got out of the Navy, the only mission I had was two-part. A is to be a musician and play music, and B, maybe show the world some cool metal, And I was surprised because when I got out of the Navy, there were actually a lot of metal bands in this area. I mean, my brain's not letting me think of any right now, but I met Mark Klingon from Killj, and we played a lot of show with those guys. And there's been a lot of bands that we come across, and so there actually are a lot of bands. You just have to find them, Right. And so that was what was surprising when I finally came home from the military and started a band myself.
Yeah, I love.
But that's how it got me into it.
I love those stories because for me it was one of the early things. I found a single at Walmart that was it was "Memory Remains" from Metallica. I had never been introduced to Metallica, and so when I heard that, I went, "Wow, there's more than Tracy Byrd." You hear that just yes. Completely changes your life. Yeah. For guys like me and you who never leave it, I guess. So right now, you and the guys, what's your go-to bands? Any new bands you listen to? Any different genres you're into, or new rock bands that we might not know about? You want to?
I'm really inspired. Most of my influence is drawn from the '90s. Unfortunately, I just think there was an aura or just I don't know, something very honest about that artistic movement that happened in the '90s that just draws me in. But like, I love a band called Nothing More. It's a new band. They're really, really great. I look for bands that really push the artistic envelope. I really dig that band. Let me think of a few more that it's not a new band, but if you listen to what Chris Cornell did with King Animal and that Soundgarden album, all the crazy tunings and that weird timing signature, but somehow they was able to make it sound like a pop record. It's just blows my mind. It's like, how can something in 7-8 times be, you know, a popper song, you know, things like that. Bands who really just push the creative envelope is where I kind of draw my influence. Now, I can't really speak from German Jake, you know, as far as their influences. I know Jake is all over the place, but he's almost the same. I mean, he's introduced me to so many bands. I mean, the first time I met him, he said he was a fan of Radiohead, and I was like, "You're much too young to be a fan of Radiohead. How's that possible?" And but he was, and we talked for hours and hours and hours, and I love how our influences kind of mesh in Seeking Seven, because we are a little bit of everything, a little bit newer, like, you know, people compare us to really amazing bands like Chevelle and even some of the lighter Tool songs. And that's such a, that's, that's a compliment in my book, you know. Those are bands are just really great.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm a huge Soundgarden fan. I can't say that enough. I mean, that's kind of where I draw a lot of my influence.
I was not a big Nothing More guy until I saw them live. When we see those guys live, I saw them with, I want to say, Bad Wolves maybe up in Memphis, and they're
Yeah.
really incredible live. I love when a live show turns you into a fan of the record. I think that's what it's supposed to. That's what a live show.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So where can people find out about Seeking Seven? Where can they go online? Or you got a Facebook page if people want to buy one of the 4 albums. Where can they get that stuff?
You can probably start with our website, which is seeking7band.com. We have a link to our social media. We have a link to all our songs and records and seven. I have an artist page too, which is just my name, Robbie Ross. And all of us are on Facebook, and we love the attention. So anybody ever want to reach out to us, we do have an Instagram. Anywhere you could probably Google Seeking Seven, and 1,000,006 things will come up, you know. And we're on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere, Google Play, everywhere digital music is sold or streamed, we're there. And man, we appreciate any and all support that we've ever get, and hopefully soon this lockdown will be over, and I can take my living room concert, you know, out to a stage and have people to react to in person versus the little likes and the thumbs ups and which is cool. But I like the handshakes and the high fives; those are cool.
Well, man, thanks a ton for coming on. I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely when this is all over, we'll get out to a show and do some video and help you guys do some promotion.
Dude, it's a huge honor. Thanks for having me on. I mean, it means a lot.